The new Patreon deck is a competent canine list. Yes. Splashing a rogue playable archetype. He's right. A deck you all know. It's decent in Genesis. That's me. Please give it up for our new 10-minute testing, Canine Super Quant. Good afternoon, Jank enthusiasts. I'm MBT, and this is 10-minute testing. In case you're unfamiliar, I have a Patreon, and each month on Patreon, the dregs of human civilization gather to subject me to deck lists beyond my comprehension. This month, however, I'm happy to report we're looking at something approaching playable. Presenting Canine Super Quantum.
Quantum Leap.
So here's the list. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Despite what some Yu-Gi-Tubers who shall not be named would have you believe, the TCG is alive and well. And if you're looking to start your journey into paper, there's no better place to begin than Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. With up-to-the-minute reporting on every major tournament worldwide, searchable and interactable pie charts and deck lists, and all the bells and whistles you've come to expect from one of the best draft and collection management sites on the net, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the place to be. Check it out today at www.ygoprodeck.com. Now back to the video. With that, let's square up to Super Quantum. Super Quantum is an archetype that's been on and off playable a few times throughout Yu-Gi-Oh's history, both as a powerful deck, courtesy of Magnus, King of the Computer, and as an engine, thanks to its well-positioned monster lineup. Most recently, it saw scant play with legacy support Blacklayer and Zaytan, alongside the always available bridge through Moon into Fiendsmith. But when Moon was banished to that great graveyard in the sky, it left this deck without anything to do. Super Quant faded from the League of Local Legends, and the pilots had to all get jobs at McDonald's. But don't hang up that plug suit just yet. Super Quantum's A-plan, making Magnus, is technically still available. The only thing preventing it from being meta-relevant is the huge cost of making its requisite ranks 3, 4, 5, and 7 Xyzes. Like many vigilantes, it turns out they can resolve some of their outstanding issues by partnering with another horrifying menace to the metagame, the cops. With Canine's help, these monsters can insulate themselves from interaction with Ripper, then make Magna Liger with the Lantern line, leading to a Magnus that actually makes sense to make. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up are Super Quantums, 3 copies of Super Quantum Fairy Zaytan, to a piece of Super Quantum White Layer, Super Quantum Black Layer, Super Quantum Red Layer, Super Quantum Blue Layer, and Super Quantum Fairy Alphan. We are playing 1 Super Quantum Green Layer. For Canines, we're playing 3 Izuna, 1 Yokel, 1 Lupus, and 1 Lantern. We are on 3 Emergency Teleport for spells, 2 Chaotic Elements, 2 copies of Layer 19 preventing the invasion of the Pitch Black Super Quantum, and 1 apiece of Super Quantum Mech Ship Magna Carrier and Super Quantum Alphan Strike. We are also playing the 1 of Case for Canine. For non-engine, we are on 3 Fuwalos, 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, Double Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, Triple Infinite Impermanence, and a Called by the Grave. In the extra, we are on 2 blue, 1 green, 2 red, 2 white, and 2 Magnus. Outside of that, we are on a 101 Silent Honor Arc and a Nash Knight. We are on a Ripper, a Valen, a copy of Typhon, and unsurprisingly, a copy of Zeus. Out of the board, we're playing Droll and Lockbird, Forbidden Droplet, Illusion Gate, Mistaken Arrest, Soundproofed, I just can't stand boarding in this metagame, and Super Quantum Union Magna Formation. So with that, let's hop into some games. Our first match is up against Mitsurugi, and though our opponent has drawn non-engine in Fuwalos, we have an Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, so you'll get to see what this deck does functionally unimpeded. We're going first. We're going to begin with a copy of Yokel. Yokel effect. We'll go ahead and summon it and the Lupus from our grip, then they'll activate Fuwalos into Ash. From here, we can activate the on-field effect of the Yokel in order to grab from deck to hand a copy of Lantern. We'll overlay for a Ripper, activate the Ripper, and now that we're insulated, we can just go all the way off. We'll grab Case for Canine and use the effect of the Case for Canine for a copy of Izuna, who we can summon to our side of the field because the Fuwalos allows us to activate it. Lupus and Yard, then we can normal summon Super Quantum Fairy Zaytan, sending white to summon blue. We'll trigger the effect of blue and white in order to grab from deck to hand a copy of Alphan and from deck to hand a Layer 19. We can then fire the Layer 19 for a black and trigger the effect of Black Layer on field in order to go ahead and rank up into Ouroboros. We'll go into Magna Liger, set the Magna Carrier, use its effect to set over Blue Layer into Grampulse, and now, by your green, red, and blue combine, I become a big-ass Magnus. Alright, we're just going to pass back to our opponent. They probably can't play through this. I mean, look at the pre-preparation of rights sitting sillily in the hand. They'll go for Typhon, which does walk over the Ripper, but that's hardly the end of the world because, of course, we kept the Lantern in grip. We'll draw for turn. It's a black layer. We'll activate the effect of the Lantern targeting the Yokel. We'll summon it and the Yokel as well. We'll activate the Yokel effect in order to grab from deck to hand another copy of Izuna. Then we're going to overlay for a Magnaliger whose effect can actually pop the Typhon. Let's get in for 26 and 36. Regrettably not lethal, but we can at least overlay for Zeus in main phase 2. We'll pass back to our opponent who draws for turn another card they can't activate while the Colossus effect of Great Magnus is active. We'll just go to the battle phase and walk over the set monster, then try and get in direct with Great Magnus into a Mitsurugi Prayers. They'll pay 8 to bring back Kusanagi, activate the effect. We'll chain Black Layer in order to summon it in attack position, and at resolution we can use its effect to rank into Lusterex. We'll get in for lethal. So that's how the deck performs on the play, but what does it do on the draw? For game 2, our opponent's on, the other K9 deck, K9 Archmage. What, is Vanquished Soul too good for you people? Okay, well, Kevin's going to begin with a copy of Alteration. They're going to use it to set Arcane Arts Acropolis, then pitch the other one into an Ash Blossom. The hand doesn't look fantastic outside of this, but they'll go Izuna into our Izuna, so we're going to have a little Izuna off. They're going to trigger theirs first, we'll trigger ours second. They unfortunately have the Ash Blossom for ours, which means they're going to win out. Here, sending a copy of Lupus, then activating the Lupus effect in the graveyard to summon itself and overlay for a Ripper effect. Detach the Lupus, grabs them a copy of Case for K9, and gets to set the forced release as well. Case for K9 is going to grab a Noroi, which they can then normal summon using its effect in order to summon a Yokel from deck. Yokel triggers in order to grab from deck to hand a Lantern, then they can overlay for a Jax, trigger the effect of the Jax to pop the Izuna, and then afterwards use the Lantern to bring back the Noroi that's in the yard. From here, they can activate Noroi, sending a Case for K9 to look at our grip, and then overlay for Nash Knight, activate the effect of the Nash Knight in order to make a Xyz Nash Knight, then activate its effect in order to make Umbral Horror Masquerade. We'll draw for turn, and that's not a great one. We're going to lead Chaotic Elements, so that will grab from deck to hand a copy of Lantern. We'll activate its effect targeting the Izuna. That's going to be met with the Ripper. No big deal, no big deal. From here, we're going to normal summon the blue layer. They'll activate Forced Release, and okay, this one is a big deal. That allows them to go into Werewolf and pop the blue layer, though we do get to resolve it to get a red layer. We'll special it to our side of the field and activate its effect targeting the blue layer. They'll activate the effect of the Werewolf to take our copy of Black Zaton, and we'll overlay for a Typhon. They'll activate Lupus here, summoning it to their side of the field as we go to the battle phase. We'll get over Jax, and then they'll re-get that Forced Release. In main 2, we can activate Typhon in order to bounce their Umbral Horror Masquerade, but unfortunately, that is going to be far from enough. From here, they can just activate the effect of the Littera that they rip off the top, grab back this copy of Alteration, activate Alteration for a copy of Awakening, then pitch that Awakening to the Acropolis in order to grab from deck to hand a Griflair. Griflair is the entire combo on his own, so they're going to set a copy of Assault, activate Assault, and then grab a Medius the Pure. From here, they're going to make Nerva the Power Patron of Creation into Medius the Pure, into a copy of Archmage Power Patron. That will trigger in order to permit them to fusion summon a Deactress and trigger the graveyard effect of the Owl, triggering the effect of the Medius as well, shuffling back that copy of Fuelos, at which point they can use Deactress to switch the Nerva to attack position. That's 400, 28, 18, and 33. Okay, we're dead. So it's time for game 3, and you know what that means, a best of 3 versus meta. Our opponent's on what else but Cool Tune? Get excited to hear that a lot. Okay, we're going to begin with a copy of Chaotic Elements, which is really good, but for the fact that it plays directly into Droll and Lockbird. Okay, maybe we can make this work. We're going to go Yokel here, summoning out the Lupus. They'll go Clip and activate its effect, syncering off both the Clip and the Mix in order to pop our Yokel and trigger the effect of the Clip, banishing from our extra deck the Valen. They go for Trackmaker. We go for Izuna, trigger the effect of the Izuna in order to send a Case for K9, then overlay for a Nash Knight. We'll go to the end phase and pass back to our opponent who draws for turn another KTS. They're going to begin by making Zaylin. They'll trigger the effect of the Cool Tune Trackmaker. We'll activate Nash Knight, and they will activate Zaylan to negate it. From here, we're just totally dead. They'll go Cool Tune Synchro in order to grab a copy of Q. They'll normal the Q, activate the effect. That gives us a pretty sick Fuelos, but they will chain the effect of KT Synchro in order to grab Rico. After that, they're going to bring back the Mix and trigger the effect of the Mix in order to grab another copy of Rico on their way to back to you. We draw an Infip off the top, which is nice. They're going to lock the top of our deck before going for Cool Tune RS. We'll go for Lupus here. They'll activate back to back. We'll chain Imperm, which maybe saves us in the main phase, so the RS does get to kill it. So it's time for game 2, and oh boy, this format, man. All right, we're going first. We're going to begin with a copy of Soundproofed. After that, what we do doesn't matter too much. We're going to go for Zaton, activate the effect to send a white. They're going to go Ash Blossom, though we still get to trigger the effect of the white in order to grab from deck to hand a copy of Alphen for next turn. We are going to go for Izuna here, summoning it to our side of the field, then activating the effect of the Lupus in hand in order to make a Ripper. Ripper's going to grab from deck to hand a copy of a Lantern. We will use a Lantern targeting the Lupus to summon the both, and enabling us to activate the effect of the Lantern, grab a copy of Case for K9, use Case for K9 to get a copy of Yokel, and then overlay for for a Nash Knight. We'll pass back to our opponent who will draw for turn. It's another Synchro Overtake. They'll go for one of the Synchro Overtakes, revealing an RS in order to summon a copy of Rico. After that, they'll trigger the effect of the Rico. I figure that's totally fine. And they'll normal summon a copy of Mix, activating its effect as well. From here, they can set 2 and pass, but those 2 KTSs mean that they are going to be able to play. They're going to go for a copy of RS, trigger the effect of the Mix and the effect of the Rico in order to blow up our board. We can Ripper one of those 2, but not both, which is miserable. Afterwards, they are going to activate KTS again, here grabbing a Q, enabling them to make a remix, triggering the effect of the Q and the effect of the remix in order to cycle back the Ash Blossom and get the Rico to their side of the field. Afterwards, they can trigger the effect of the Rico on field in order to grab from deck to hand a copy of Rotary, and as we go to the main phase to take their RS, things start looking really bad. They're going to go Clip here and make a copy of RS. They'll trigger the effect of the Clip and hit the god dang Sky Thunder. All right, we're going to go for an Alpha, and they'll Ash it, and we'll scoop it up. So we're back with the deck, and, well, obviously, it's just a bad Vanquish Soul Canine, but I still had fun. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1. Magnus King of the Computer is damn good. They had a semi-Drolan Lockbird, for Christ's sakes. It's no surprise a robot piloted by that despicable twink will be powerful as well. 2. Droplet is right at home here. You get to do funny tricks with the Quant's post board that can really break boards. And 3. It's a Chaotic Elements deck. I swear people just refuse to read the text on this card. And the cons. 1. There's no bridge between archetypes. The canines can't get quantums, which means you just kind of have to draw them, you know, like a poor person. 2, it's a lot of investment and very easy to board against. Hopefully no one's grabbing Gamciel, for instance. And 3, actually, Canine. In a Blazing Dominion metagame, things look pretty bad for the cops. All in all, this deck's fun, but certainly not going to be relevant, either in the Embers of Bipro or in the upcoming Bullsed meta. So that's that. These videos are made possible by, and occasionally suggested by, my patrons, some of whom have paid top dollar to be mentioned at the end of this video. Here they are now. First up, Van, followed by hashtag Unban Meowmoo, Absolutely Fran, Elena Tincher, Allison Elliott, Ally, APK Pearly Tier 0, Brett Henry, Broski TCG, Cap, Cool Name, Dark Rebel XYZ, El Gravo, Emiliano Deverio, NB Adams, Fabrizio Petroli, Galactic Joey, Hongo Porongo, Hergalicious, Jackie Z, JP, Cole Offline, Creature, Legal Rights, Lucas Rosas, Luis Hernandez, MasterKey090, Matthew M. Derezo, MBT Hablando en Español, MBT Play Madolce, Mike Carlotti, N54 Lionheart, Nacho, Pombo, Pyramid Artisan Field Cloths and TCG Accessories, Rancer My Thing, Rohan Doge, Rose Lapine, Serpentax, Shifter.mp8, Sly Ninja 43, Troy Says Bi-Erasure is Gay, Uznik, Yuki Kazami, and Zircon Sun. Couldn't have done it without you.